Hi, I'm Pete Rulon. Today we're going to cover information you need to answer the questions on the Part 107 exam, and more specifically the questions associated with operations of drone over people.
No, I think a lot of people get lost in the update to the law regarding transversing people. It's no longer just flying over people. What it is transversing people versus sustained flight over people. And if you are just transversing people with your drone, you can technically fly over people as long as it's not a sustained hover. That's kind of like the crux of the issue. But if you're flying over an open assembly or over a body of people, the FAA has 3 new categories that you must comply with in order to sustain flight over people. And Rob, as we're seeing, this is kind of it's kind of confusing.
The FAA has broken the drones down into various categories, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The category 1 is a small unmanned aircraft permitted to operate over people, provided the small unmanned aircraft weighs 0.55 pounds, 250 grams or less, including everything that is on board or otherwise attached to the aircraft at the time of takeoff and through the duration of the flight. Secondly, it contains no exposed rotating parts that could cause lacerations. Be careful, that means in most of our drones we have to put prop guards, and when you put the weight of the prop guards on, the 250-gram drones exceed 250 grams. Now, category 2 are unmanned aircraft that weigh more than 250 grams. They do not need an airworthiness certificate. The unmanned aircraft must be designed, produced, or modified such that it will not cause injury to a human being that is equivalent to or greater than the severity of the injury caused by the transfer of 11 foot-pounds of kinetic energy upon impact. So where do you find this category? It is listed on the FAA drone zone by manufacturer, model, etc. Now, once again, the drone must not contain any exposed rotating parts that could lacerate human skin on impact. It also must meet remote ID requirements. Category 3. This is unmanned aircraft weighing more than 0.55 pounds. They do not need an airworthiness certificate. The unmanned aircraft must be designed, produced, or modified such that it will not cause injury to a human being that is equivalent or greater than the severity of injury caused by a transfer of 25 foot-pounds of kinetic energy upon impact with a rigid object. Once again, no exposed parts. Remember, 2 is 11 foot-pounds, 3 is 25 foot-pounds. Category 4 drone meets the requirements when they've been issued an airworthiness certificate under Part 217 to operate over people in accordance with Part 107, so long as the operational limitations are specified in the approved flight manual. Now, they've revised the rules.
And if you're interested in flying a drone over people, today's going to be a quick and simple tutorial on how to fill out an operations over people waiver. So let's fly in. Now, the first step is to determine if you even need to fill out this waiver. So first you can go to the Part 107 waivers list, scroll down a bit, and you can see a lot of different waivers that you can fill out. So first we're going to scroll all the way down to operation over human beings. And it says, if you want to fly over a person with a small UAS, which does not meet conditions of operational categories 1, 2, 3, or 4, then you need to fill out this waiver. And if you want to find out which drones are in these categories, you can go over to the uasdoc.faa.gov website. You can click filter by, go to type, and go to OOP, which just stands for Operations Over People. Click this, and now we're going to get a list of drones that fit into these categories. If you do not have any of these drones, then you need to fill out a waiver to fly a drone over people legally. And this leads us to the website that you will fill the waiver out on, FAA Drone Zone. Then we're going to go to Launch Drone Owners and Pilots Dashboard. Now we're going to scroll down a bit and create Part 107 waiver / authorization. Click this. We want to do an operational waiver. Click that and start application. And this is where we will start the waiver. So first we're going to fill out some basic information, and over here the website will eventually say, oh, you need to fill out an Operations Over People waiver. And we get Operations Over People or moving vehicles. Yes, that's what we want to do. Select operation. We are not compliant because again, none of the drones fall under this category. And here we go. It pops up. Operations Over People is the relevant waiver that it thinks we should use, which is what we want to use. You can put in your drone information, click next, and then this will just give you all of the information that you've typed out so far, and then you can submit the waiver. And that's basically the whole process from your end at least. And this is what the final waiver looks like. One important detail to note is that when using this waiver, you cannot obtain airspace authorization through Lance apps. So it took 2 months for him to get this waiver. So just keep that in mind if you are filling this out for yourself or for your team. It could take a while.
What I'm not clear on is if the test bank has been modified to reflect the new Operation Over People waiver rules. Online, all review questions that I've seen, even recent ones, only cover the category 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would not ignore the new rules when you take the test, but you may not see a question associated with the new rules. I thank you for your time.